wanted to ask you one more thing.
Sure.
You in one of your recent videos, you were talking about how support always has something to do, right? When he's in the safe lane, like for example, position 5, if it's like 10 seconds, you go pull if the lane is pushed. If it's around minute marker, you try to stack. If it's around 2-minute marker, you try to get a
Yeah.
bounty.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what if at let's say it's around 130 where you have absolute 120, like the pull window has gone and you don't have to go look for a bounty, the lane is pushed. What do you do for the next 20 seconds before you can pull again
Wait,
if
can you
I
can you
want to
okay?
increase my
Can you say that one more time? When the lane is getting pushed and it's minute
the
30,
lane is getting
130.
pushed,
Yeah.
it's around 120
Okay.
and you the next pull is around 143,
Okay.
144.
And
So
what
in
do you
those
do with
20
that
20,
20 seconds? Is that question?
yeah.
Is that what's happening in this game?
No, it
Okay.
happened in one of my other games, but that was the only one question I had from that replay, so I didn't really want to ask you about it.
Okay. I mean,
And
it
it
really
increased.
depends on the hero matchup and like all the things, but so it's really hard for me to answer that. But the 20 seconds and the lane is getting pushed.
No,
Well,
I'm asking how would you find something to do when you
oh,
cannot harass the enemy lane, you cannot pull, you cannot go for a bounty, and there is no ganks happening in any other lane. So is it okay to just stay in the lane and do nothing?
um, okay. So what you just described is like the worst thing that can happen in your game, right? As a support, you have no option to
Yeah.
pull, you have no option to gank or to stay in the lane. You feel like you're useless because you're, I don't know, maybe you're against a trial lane or something. So in that case, what I do is actually, that's actually a good question. So I mean, although we're not dealing with this imaginary situation, but if I remember correctly, like in my games, what I did is I just move. So lane is getting pushed, meaning my carry is now lasting under the tower, right? Is that right?
No, my lane is pushing. Like my lane is near their
Oh,
tier 1.
so like it's not. It's like the enemy offlaner is now getting the experience. That's the situation you're in. Well
Yeah.
then,
Basically, I had this one game where the uh, Lycan kept pushing the lane,
okay,
even at 1 minute and 2 minutes. We won the match because we pushed very early. I was Jakiro, I think. We Lycan and Jakiro, we took the tier 3 mid in like 18 minutes or 16 minutes or something like that. So we had a huge snowball going, but I at one point of time as a support I didn't know what to do. Lycan was pushing the lane. The other 3 lanes were fine. There was no gangs happening. It wasn't 2 minutes for bounties. I couldn't stack, and so I just stood there for 20 seconds waiting for the wave to come so that I can pull again.
yeah, I think that's what you should do. In that case, like unless they block the small camp, unless they block your jungle camp, if
Mm.
it is still flexible to just pull and get them lane clear back, that's where it is okay to waste your 20 seconds and pull, chain pull, double pull, and then get it back. And
Okay.
yeah, that was actually simple. I was worried about like more complicated. Yeah,
Okay.
just it's fine to do that. It's fine. Okay, this game. Timbersaw mid, Sven top, Crystal mid and support, Weaver offlane. You were pushing force. Tinker mid, Slaughter, Roamer, CK, bottom, carry, line, and Tuskar supporting. Alright. Okay. So you're trying to get the double wave for Weaver at the second wave? Is that what you're doing? Or
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
okay. I mean, good job. I mean, I would have done the same thing. Because, like, if you pull the first wave, there's a chance that you might even die to Lion and Tuskar. So, you're doing that. Good, I agree with you. Very good job.
I think Lion comes and attacks me right now. I'm not. It's just yeah. Lion comes and stuns me, so the creep follows me, and I just take it over here so that
It's
Weaver
fine,
gets
yeah.
level 2, and I leave. Yeah.
It's fine, but the one thing that I want to mention is when you pull like this, when you pull,
Hmm.
I get it that you want it to be under, you want this script to get you under the tower as soon as possible, but let's say Lions spotted you, but at the same time, Tuskar was doing the same thing, and Tuskar was standing next to Lion. You're dead, right? You're
Hmm.
dead. If
I mean,
one,
after Lion's turn, I would just be able to TP out though.
well, what if Tuskar has a stun? What if Tuskar was a
Oh, I
player that
mean,
was
yeah.
saving a skill point and then Tuskar has a stun? You're dead, right? So you should
Yeah.
always expect. Yeah, you should always. But problem. Yeah, that's a problem. But at the same time, like you have the right idea. I'm really glad. I'm really impressed that you always like come up with just solution. Then I can TP out. But thing is, you can always have the skill point and you're dead. So all I'm saying is, when you do this, don't do this. Like, don't walk from here to here was fine, but when you walk around, you should always pay attention to the minimap and whether which one of them is coming towards you. So I get it that Tusker was saying here, but you should always assume that the worst thing can happen, and just playing safe is the best way to play. Walk this way, walk this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. That way, if Tuskar that way Tuskar does not feel comfortable like diving all the way here under the fight under the tier 2 tower. That's like really rare, right? And with the Lion, like he also has to commit himself to coming up to the here, and who knows what's gonna happen, right? Like they're gonna mess up and you end up getting counter kill. So that's how I vision things. You shouldn't really do this. If Tuskar was here, you're dead.
Okay.
So I almost never
So
do this. Yeah, go ahead.
I have to meet the creep wave, this creep wave to the fourth creep wave that spawns at 130
Okay,
then.
I mean, if you were aiming to do that, like that's fine. That's like really a gamble that you must take. But I would not do that. I would just still be happy by just disturbing the lane equilibrium like this, and then just
Okay.
let Weaver take the last hit by you tanking. Just walk like circle like here and tanking a little bit and let the Weaver take the last hit. So it's really not that hard to take the last hit, right? So
Yeah.
that's fine, but I agree with you. The other situation is to you make this crypt meet with the crypt that is about to spawn this. So if you're aiming to do that, that's totally fine. But all I'm saying is you're just taking the risk by doing that, and you should be aware of your
Okay.
consequence. So that's all I can tell
Yeah.
you. But other than that,
Yeah.
good job. Yeah, look how uncomfortable Tuskar looks. Like he does not like this, but he cannot really fuck with Weaver because like he's fighting under the tower. Right now, you're just moving to top. You're stacking good. So I like your play so far. You even getting the double bounty run, so you secure the farm for the off lane, and it looks like you're playing almost a perfect game. And now seeing that the lane equilibrium is messed up, you're pulling, so that's also good. But you should use your feature to actually do this. All right.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's everything makes sense. Maybe you're saving the feature to just to contribute in. But the way I see it is Shaker hitting level 2 makes sense, and even I feel comfortable by like staying on level 3 because you have 1 point in feature, 1 point in enchant totem aftershock. That's like where I say like I feel comfortable. So I get it, but when you're killing the double stack the small camp like this before, like when you were oh, I have to go back a little more. I'm sorry. Yeah, so when you do that, just don't be afraid of using your skill. Usually when you double stack the small cap, it is where you actually have to auto attack really well or tank up a little bit more to clear them all and get all the experience. By killing that, you will hit level 2, and to me that's like a lot. So don't worry about, for a moment, temporarily worry, don't like sacrifice yourself that for temporarily you will not have any killing potential against Lotta, but use everything you have to clear this camp. I feel like that's what you should have done as a support. This is a rare again, you have to
Okay.
play greedy. Okay, just saying it one more time to make sure that everyone can visualize what's gonna happen. So you did that. You pulled. Shaker's right here. And yeah, you're dealing with like one creep that is doing the opposing damage, so like it's really hard. So if you use the feature, I think you would have cleared almost every camp. So that's my
Okay.
logic. Okay, and that good job. But thinking about the consequence is always good habit. If you do that, you would have lost the killing potential against Slaughter because Fissure has a really long range. But all I'm saying was that was fine. Okay, you're now roaming to mid. But I feel like when you roam to middle here, were you like trying to get the river run, or was there any other purpose
I
behind
was
it?
trying to not give it to Tinker, basically.
Oh, okay.
If Tinker would get it, he would be spamming lasers
Jump.
to annoy.
Right. So when you secure the run here, so he got it right. Wait, why do I see two Timbersaw in the minimap?
Illusion? Oh my god, I don't even understand.
What
I
is
don't
happening?
think it's illusion. Weird.
Wait, what? Wait, who's this? Who's this? Is this someone else or is this replay bug or
No,
something?
no. This is the one in. Yeah, that one is the real one. This one, I don't know what that is. Must be some replay bug or something.
Okay, I've never seen this before. That's weird. All right, all I'm saying is when you secure this run here, if I were you, 100% I would just go back to top lane.
Okay.
The reason being is this, so securing the run was the right choice. So you again, up to this point you made it right, but look at what you did here. So you're trying to like gank him, but like that's not gonna happen, right? Because Tuskar was standing. So
Yeah.
it's about understanding what's going to work or what's going to not work. And when you met up with the Tuskar, when you actually like contested with the Tuskar right here, this is like where you should realize right away that okay, my job at this point, my job is done. Tuskar is here. He knows that I'm here. He knows that Timbersaw is here. And Tinker, unless like being like 1K player, is not gonna get caught by my feature. So what happens if you actually go back here? You can just keep pulling and hit level 2, or just just sap that little bit of experience because you do power spec level 2 and 3 from this fed, and just think about zoning out Slaughter. That's what I want you to do, because this is the lane to me. Even though like you cannot zone out Slaughter, what this guy will do to his best ability is Slaughter will do with his everything that he can to get the experience, and there will be time that I expect him to make some mistakes, overextend, and that is where Crystal Maiden finds him with the frostbite. And if you can follow up with your fissure, this guy is dead 100%. No matter what he does, Sven is standing behind him. I don't see Slaughter saving himself from running away from all three of you combined. So that's how the way I see it. But by you coming mid here, you're gonna waste a little bit of time, and you're gonna go back around, and you're still staying here, and like you're watching him there. So okay, I'm gonna go there. I got trunkle boots, but I forgot to mention. But you again bought the brown boots from the the fountain. I was not happy with that.
But I bought both of them at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So I just had the windlace. I got enough gold.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then. All right, it's better than the before, right? So this is where like
Yeah.
it is justified. But yeah, you're right on that. Thank you for mentioning that. So you can back here, but by just casting your feature like that, you just saw what you just did, right? You came here,
Yeah.
and the lane was already getting pushed. Yeah, the lane was already getting pushed, which is like favor of Weaver, and Weaver really appreciate this. But you win with the take the last hit by doing that. CK is like,
I think I
thank
wanted to
you.
cancel his clarity. That's why I did it.
You did what?
He had a clarity. He had a clarity on. I
Oh.
tried to cancel that.
Okay.
I didn't want him to have enough mana to chain stun Weaver again and him to die.
All right.
So.
Let's see. But all I'm saying is I'm not happy with Weaver staying here like this, because like if the lane equilibrium was made like where was standing before you cast the feature, like right here, so it was here, right? And clearly the lane was getting pushed, and this is where like Weaver will just stay around here. They cannot kill him, but you can't cancel them. I mean, that's good, but always think about consequence when you do that. You just push the lane.
Yeah.
So the moment you did this, I knew that this is something that I had to mention because you did it wrong. And support is like weird position where like I have to say it is wrong, but it's really hard to like convince my student because like it's really abstract, but it is really wrong. Like I'm in my mind, it's like it's
Basically,
so wrong.
risk versus reward. I
Yeah.
thought the risk would be more if I didn't cancel the clarity, but it turns out in hindsight, like,
Yeah.
or if I was a better player, I would have realized that risk would be more if Weaver was in a.
Yeah, so Weaver is in danger now. He might even die. He died. Yeah, so this is like it's kind of on you, right? Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we want to do here, like seeing your mistakes. So you got the arcane when that was good, but you did nothing in the mid, and by coming here, you really didn't do anything other than literally just killing him more or less. You have a TP. It looks like you don't have really good vision in the minimap. That's my. If I were you, I would just buy a ward. I don't really care about you being pushing forward. But since Crystal Maiden is a hero that really does not have any mobility, and if anybody finds Crystal Maiden, if Tuskar finds Crystal Maiden, Maiden is gonna die. If Soda finds him, Maiden is gonna die. So I feel like this is like the game where it is okay for you to just to get a one word and place down in a really good position so that at least Weaver can, you know, uh, secure his farm or just better time for Timbersaw, anyone. But I really think at least one person in your team has to buy a ward, and it cannot be Crystal Maiden. Just gonna die in the midst of putting down a ward. Okay, so Timbersaw is here. Let's see if anything can happen. All right, that sucks. Nothing I can do. Okay. Um. So when you like went into the jungle, was there anything that you were thinking of doing it? I mean, you killed him, good job, but I was curious about
Yeah,
your
I
movement here.
was thinking since Weaver and Timber both were bot, and even CM came bot. I didn't think they would come aggressive to try to kill one of them because that would put CK in danger. So I thought since I'm just level 3 at minute 8, I could go mid and take some XP.
Oh, okay.
Spam Fisher, since I have an extra clarity and
Yeah.
I have mana regen from CM also, I could just spam Fisher, annoy
Okay.
Tinker a bit and get some XP.
I mean, I think it was a hard decision. I agree with you. Like, you guys dewarded. Like, so like you found like they're not gonna come. It's not likely, and they're not showing off. So you don't know what's going to happen. But um, when you put down a ward right here, so this is
Hmm.
the word put down yours away. You can actually pay attention to the. So this is what I've done. It's really really different, like small different, but what I've done. Um,
Hmm.
you know what? Like by paying attention to your own crypt lane, like you can predict where the enemy crypt lane is. That's like
Yeah.
you know the right. So by just paying attention to
Actually,
this.
I don't do that. I just remember the time, but
Oh
I've heard this technique also.
yeah. So this is like they are always at the same spot. So
Yeah.
like by looking at your crypt lane, like you can safely predict that they're about the same lane. So they just passed the tier 2 tower about here, and it's about the same, right? So it's gonna be
Yeah.
about here. You can predict that. So since range crypts like right here, they're gonna be about here or here. So what I've done differently from your play is, um, so it's really small thing when you play Push 5 that I play different. Instead of placing down like this, I'll place it down right here, behind their tier
I
1 tower.
didn't want to place it down there because I didn't know if they would have vision of me. That's an easy ward to deward. Whenever I play
Yeah,
position 5,
but they
I
don't.
easily notice.
Oh, okay. Go
I
ahead.
usually notice and I deward it immediately. So I assumed they would do the same thing to me, and I didn't want, since like that's the only ward in the whole map, which I bought it with. I didn't want to spend gold because I'm position 4, but I still
Oh,
bought
okay.
it. I didn't want it to be wasted.
But didn't you guys just like deward it right here? Like
Yeah,
this was the enemy ward and you guys killed it, right?
yeah. But if CM was standing near the tier 1 tower or little behind the tier 1 tower, she would see me place it. That's what I thought. I didn't want to risk the
Okay.
ward life.
All right. But all I'm saying is, if you had actually put down the ward behind the tower, what the ward does is, yes, you're right about like risking it getting dewarded, but you actually know where they are hiding. It's more likely to find out where they're hiding. If you place them right here, you actually see up to this point. So you might even check
Yeah.
whether they are going around here to contest your team. That way you can react faster. So let's actually see what happens. I'm a little curious about how the enemy team approached it. Okay, so they just went this way. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, all right. That's a small thing that I've done differently. I feel like this ward really didn't do anything when you were. So when I saw that, so here's what I'm thinking. When you put down on this ward and you went that way, I thought you were bailing off after like putting down a ward that secures the lane. So like, what I mean is, if by you just putting down right here, you're at least doing something to your team. Like your team will know when your enemy team initiates or committed. So it's like where you decide as a support, okay, I did my job, I'm gonna go up with some experience. That's what I thought your was thinking process. But all I'm saying is it was kind of a little inefficient if you were thinking in that manner. Just put it down here, then you'll see what the enemy team is doing beyond the tier 1 tower. And although in this game, like, I still think you would not have seen anyone, but from my experience, that's better than nothing. What if they were just coming around here, or coming like,
Yeah.
there's a juking spot here, and it will make difference, right? You don't see with this ward they're juking coming from here, but if it was here, that you'll clearly see it, and you'll see if anyone is like TP to react. But and although you guys de-warded right here, I don't really think in this bracket players are really good enough to see everyone's item and just de-ward it right here. So I would have just put it on right here because it really gives you a huge advantage for the next 5 minutes. But and yeah, so you're warning, so you ended up killing CK. We saw that, but when I watched this play, and after whether he dies or not, what I was gonna mention was this: you actually had the right idea of tipping to the mid, and I think that was a better decision. Because Timbersaw, if you watched how Timbersaw was playing this game, Timbersaw was also playing this kind of wrong, because you guys actually let Tinker stay in the free lane for like what, almost like 2 minutes, I say. Like, it's really long time. It's been farming like this.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, so the right time that I would have TP to the mid. So this is actually what I do. Trust me, this happens in my game too, where like mid laner just bail off, thinking that they are like forced to roam, and they never come back to their mid lane, and really that's like game losing shit. So you are here, and you actually had the right idea. So you did that right. You got here, you got initiated, you de-warded, and this is where I would just TP to the mid right now. Right now, I would have just TP to the lane. Just give the ward to someone else. And so yeah, this is where like I just gave a different advice, like where you play support, but you have the nature mindset of playing sacrificial. But if you look at your level, you're level 3, and Maiden's level 4. And by all means, you should be playing push and 4, but you're under-leveled. So TP to here, your level matters, your farm matters. If you just TP to here, Tinker cannot kill you cannot kill him, but you get a lot of levels and a lot of farm. So just let them do your stuff. But thing was that Timbersaw was not showing any intention to go back to the lane. But yeah, just let's just watch how Tinker was like just farming entire time for how many minutes. I'm curious in seeing this. Go back a little bit more. So this is where Timbersaw was here. So at minute 6:20 to 6:23, Timbersaw left the lane, 6:20, but 8:11, nobody's here. So you guys literally left him 2 minutes solo farming. This is so bad. Like, thinking that given that Tinker is the one who's really vulnerable to ganking, smoke ganking, at around this time. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he has no escape. He can basically laser one person, but he cannot kill us.
Yeah, so what I've done differently when I play this Shaker in this game is I would have always been fully aware of Tinker being vulnerable to smoke gank, and I would have carried the smoke even at level 1 by just sacrificing one clarity. I think you were carrying 2 clarity at the beginning, but I think that is wrong, especially when you have but when you have a Crystal Maiden, that is just wrong, because like even in this game I just witnessed that you're not really using clarity, and you don't really need it when you play Crystal Maiden, because you're just gonna give the mana. So this is wrong. I think even having 0 clarity is fine. I mean, it's kind of extreme, but at least 1 smoke is just would have just threatened Tinker. That's like how things go in my game. Like, the enemy Tinker will check my inventory and seeing that Shaker has a smoke, they're gonna ping it. Trust me, they do. Like in my game, like my mid is Tinker. Let's say I was playing the right-hand side, like I was playing Tuskar or Lion, and when Tinker sees you in the minimap or by the landing stage, he will check your inventory and he's gonna ping the smoke. He's gonna ping it. And that will just threaten him in nature. He's gonna be threatened. At some point, Shaker is gonna smoke, and I might even die. So I should be really careful. If it disappears from the minimap, I should be careful. That really goes through his head. So all the small things matter as a support. And I'm really surprised that nobody even tried to smoke gank Tinker. I knew that you were kind of frustrated, like when you secured the Arcane Rune here. You got the Arcane Rune, you gave it, and then you were trying to gank Tinker. I knew that you wanted to, but it didn't work, right? It really doesn't. But imagine you had a smoke. Just wait until Tuskar disappears from somewhere else, and you're hiding here. And even by just solo smoke will work, but because all you have to do is just block this passage from where Tinker will just run away. If you block it, Timbersaw at level 5 or 6, he will be strong enough to kill Tinker. He will only have like no choice but to TP out, but you can just walk close to him, cast your enchant totem, and he cannot TP out. So like it's really threatening to him. So having smoke would have totally changed the game. But I think leaving Tinker free farm for like 2 minutes, that was a huge mistake, even as a team, because Team Brazil did not do anything, and you didn't do anything when you had a chance to do. So that's something I would have done differently. Let's keep watching if I can commentate on anything else. So we saw that you were doing this, and yeah, and you got CK here. You killed him. Good job. So let's see your next move from here. But magic wand here. Good job.
Basically, when I do that, when I go back and forth, that's usually when I have no idea what to do.
Where?
Near after taking the bounties, I just go left, right 2 or 3 times, right?
Oh, at
Because
this
I have
point?
no idea what to do at that moment.
Yeah.
After taking the bounty, I have no idea what to do.
Yeah, and this is because you don't have a smoke. You have no option but to just walk back. I would have done the same thing if I didn't have a smoke here. I'm pretty sure nobody in your team bought the smoke in this game, but imagine you had a smoke here. Just imagine you had a smoke. You can actually smoke with Team Buster and you and just invade in, and if you find Tinker farming this camp, he's dead. He is dead. And at minute 9, before minute 10, it is where Tinker is about to get the boost up turbo, like he's really getting close to it. And this is where like Tinker knows that he is vulnerable to smoke gank, and he will not try to show himself to the lane as fast as he can, but he will try to hide it here. So this is where like normally as a push on 4, push on 5 support, I organize the ganking squad and smoke here and just walk around here or walk like this, and Tinker will be here 100%. 100% Tinker is stacking this and farming the camp. I mean, that's like not that hard to predict, right? So
yeah,
learn to carry smoke. It will just give you option, and what you just mentioned, like I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's normal because you really don't have anything else to do at this point. I have to content bounty. I'm like, what else are you gonna do? I feel like the best option at this point, if you have no smoke, is just TP to here. If you TP to here, Slaughter cannot see you TPing. Like if you just TP behind the tree, hide here, ask for Sven to sort of bait or make him come, or just communicate with each other. He stuns him, and you come your Slaughter, stun him again, and he might die. So that's something that I can imagine happen. That's what I've done. But getting smoke makes everything much easier, right? If you judge that Tinker is hard to find, just TP to here, pop your smoke, go around, and this guy is dead, right? He cannot survive your smoke gank. So smoke is everything that makes difference to as a push on 4 support. And I can really say please that at like low Asian level, or somewhere like even at Asian 4, Asian 5, they don't carry smoke at the right time, and they're really left alone and really like wondering what am I doing wrong. There's nothing I can do as a support. So you're just gonna walk top, but cannot really make any impacts because you're kind of under leveled. So I would have just pulled. I mean, what else can you do, right? Like, you just have to rely on Slaughter playing bad to die here. So good initiation by Spence. You really got the kill. Good job. But you really can't rely on enemy team playing bad. But that was a really solid gang. Good job. You're gonna from that. Pop your clarity. You should have done that.
I think Tinker kills me here. I'm not sure.
What did you say?
I think oh no, maybe it's not this one. There's another time where I was playing mid, and when I was mid and Tinker has blinked and just kills me directly. It wasn't now.
I think this happened before as well. Like you're always under level. Let me check the level. Yeah. So you're like staying the same as Crystal Maiden. Did you get the Tom of Knowledge? Oh, nobody bought the Tom? Oh my god. Oh, okay. So yeah, I was wondering how like you're still on the level, but yeah, you should start buying the Tom of Knowledge. So always like, so you know how like like every even minute you should position yourself to get the Bonja rune like such that, right? You already know that. But at minute 10, that's like when you can buy the Tom. And most of the time I understand like sometimes mid wants it or push on 5 wants it, but get it yourself. When you play push on 4 in the pop games, in your rank games, I think push on 4 must get Tom of Knowledge because they do power spike
I
level
think
6.
someone did ask me to buy it, but I had like as you can see right now, I had enough gold, like 800 gold to 800,
Yeah.
900 gold to blink. So if I would waste another 150, I didn't know if I would be able to get the blink at the right time. I thought since I didn't have Echo Slam anyways, since I didn't have blink anyways, Echo Slam wouldn't be that useful unless it was like a CK illusion, like CK Haunt,
Okay.
or not Haunt, CK.
Okay.
I forgot the name.
So I have to disagree with that. Echo Slam just makes everything different because like number one reason is like, again, the existence of smoke. If you have smoke and just smoke S2 with Crystal Maiden, you having Echo Slam just makes everything changeable, like everything's different. And Echo Slam, you just treat the Echo Slam as if you have a black hole. If you have black hole, what does that mean? Like you get one easy kill in the early game, right? So the mistake that people make as when they play Shaker having Echo Slam or Enigma having black hole is they don't use the skill. They feel like I have this big giant skill and I feel like I have to save it until I have Blink Digger or like that. But no, the point is you hit level 10. I mean, sorry, you hit level 6 by minute mark 10 by relying on the Tom of Knowledge. So unless you are playing really bad, I really don't see anyone staying below level 6 at minute 10 when they hit Tom of Knowledge. So that was the first big mistake. You're not undervaluing. You're undervaluing the importance of Tom of Knowledge. You should not.
Yeah.
150 gold is really nothing. Like it will delay your Blink Digger, but think of it this way: by having Echo Slam, it gives you option. It gives you option to play aggressive, and it gives you options to calculate the different angles of making the kill potential. Like it's really different, right? So right now you can't really do anything, but if you had an Echo Slam, it's just what he said. If CK ever pops up his ultimate, that's your chance to just walk toward him and Echo Slam. If you don't, you can't, because what's gonna happen if you walk toward him? CK will stun you, relative rift, and you're dead, right? But if you Echo Slam, he cannot do that. So that's how like everything is different. CK seeing that Shaker is level 6, he can't do that. So that was the reason why I disagree with you. And so I'm not sure if this magic wand is actually worth it. So I mentioned about how like if you're playing support, you should always get magic wand, but okay, I have to take it back. In this game now that I see it, like just seeing that how like Shaker is. I mean, don't get me wrong, magic wand is just almost always good, but I feel like in a game where like you really do believe that Blink Digger is the core item that will make everything different, it is fine to just stay in the Trunkle Boots and just rush Blink Digger.
But I might not have enough mana for a combo, I think.
Oh, without this?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't calculate it. I just assume it. That's why usually the reason why I go for wand, especially with Lion and Earthshaker, is because I have that extra bit of mana to do my combos.
Yeah,
like,
I think you're right. You're right. So Shaker at like level 8 with Fissure level 4, 170. This is like 145. That's like 200, almost 300. So you're gonna be close. Unless you have full mana, you might have some problem. But yeah, you with the full mana, you can do it. But if you don't, that's gonna be a problem. But my point is, it's an option. I'm not saying that this is wrong, but this is something that you can. Excuse me. This is something you can consider from the next game. If you feel like you're playing Shaker and you feel like that's the core item that I power spike, consider skipping the magic wand. Just consider it, or just leaving it as a magic wand even. Like that way you save Mango and Iron Branch. You save the 200 gold, and that's like kind of big as a support, right? That will like even shorten your getting Blink Dagger time by like 1 minute, 2 minutes, and that's like a lot. So all I'm saying is that's an option. But we mentioned a lot, right? It's by minute 12, but I mentioned about like how Tinker was left alone and you guys didn't buy smoke and you wasting time a little bit. So I think that adds a little bit more. That adds up a lot to get there. Yeah, if you were level 6, like this guy's dead. I mean, I think you guys will still kill him. but
Yeah.
you know things are easier, right? And even like Tuskar is contesting, so things get messy. But with the Echo Slam, you even get close to working on Blink Dagger by killing CK. So if that makes sense to you, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about changing the perspective after getting coach session. So that's all I want you to. That's all I want to happen from you. Um, you're getting closer. It's not bad timing. Like considering that you got the Trunklebus and Magic Wand, having 1800 gold at this time is actually not bad. It's done a good job.
I
All
think I
right.
die here.
I thought Tinker left. That's what I expected. The same thing, but he didn't.
Even I was expecting the same thing, and I
Yeah.
thought if I would stun, CM or Timbersaw would try to
Yeah, I
annoy
was
him or pressure
thinking
him
the
in
same thing,
some
but
way.
that's like, oh, where you cannot control your allies, so that's bad.
Yeah.
Alright, so all you have to do at this point is just working on your Blink Dagger. Okay, actually, it's a good time to Aqua Slam. Good job.
Just as I was about to echo some, two of them moved aside a bit. They
Was
were
it?
all
Alright.
clumped.
Did they have a sentry here? They didn't, right?
I don't think so.
Well, so killed
Just
two of
luck,
them.
I guess.
That's fine. Okay, you got that there. Alright. Use the shine. Nothing to say here. Okay, and alright. So here's the problem that so we just watched like 4 games, right? You should check the enemy side more often. For real.
Okay.
The only reason that this happened, you were not paying attention. You were not paying attention to the Tinker. Yeah.
I don't even think I tried to stun Tinker. I didn't even realize he blinked and I was trying to stun the lion,
Right.
I think.
Fair enough. But okay, this was the hard timing. I have to take it back. I was gonna, but just it's just my impression that from the way how like I was watching your game. I know that like you're good enough player to check place item, but I feel like you should do it more often. That's all I'm saying. Cause
Okay.
yeah, from all the games that I watched, like how like you talked about. Oh, I knew that he was gonna do that, but I just died. But that's you have to check like more often, and that will just make a better player. So that's all I can say about this. You dying there was unfortunate. Skip. Wow, Tinker is fat. Okay, skip a little bit more.
That's when I realized Tinker was really fat and I knew I should have pressured him more. But at that point of time, I didn't really know what to do. After like he got so much farm, I'm never gonna catch him again. So
Okay. Have you thought about smoke ganking at this point as well?
no,
No?
I haven't.
All right. I mean, yeah, you should definitely work on just making a time to smoke. It's really good against Tinker. And okay, that means they have a ward, right?
Yeah.
Wait, didn't you have a sentry? I thought you were gonna deal with it.
No, I placed the sentry to check that lion didn't have a ward on high ground. Yeah, right here.
Oh.
Lion was just standing still, so I thought he was trying to bait me, so I put the
Oh,
sentry
okay.
there.
What? Lion was baiting. Alright, whatever. But okay. So I thought you had a sentry, right? So when I like at this moment like you killed him, I was like, good job. But when Tinker did that, like they have a ward right here, like 100%.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, why don't you deal with it? And I was like, oh, you have no word. What did you use it? So, okay. Okay, nobody is really paying attention to Tinker's position. He's gonna do that, obviously. So one tip that I can give you, like when you play versus Tinker, so just expect that you sort of have to expect that your allies are not as good as you are. But if you're the only person that making the right decision, like you're gonna win more than you lose. So
Okay.
you casting Fissure here, like killed Lion, right? But
Yeah.
I feel like you should not have shown yourself, but wait for the chances to kill Tinker now that you have Blink Dagger. So Blink is
Okay.
purchased to, like, yes, your Shaker, you should use it to, just blink and echo slam. But the way I say this game is really there's nobody to jump in the face of Tinker. Tinker dies if you happen to jump in face of him and catch a spell, then like he's dead. There's no way out. But Maiden does not have Blink Dagger, so she cannot do that. Weaver, I mean, Weaver moves fast, but he doesn't have a Blink Dagger. Sven doesn't have it. Well, Timbers is potentially the one, but he's not doing his job. Timbers is like, it's clear to me that this guy's hiding somewhere here, but Timbers doesn't care about it, and he goes for Lion. And everyone was going on after Lion, whereas like Lion is only level 12 and he's only support, and he was already dead chasing after Weaver. So this is where like you just have to aim for the kill that matters. I'm not saying that by just having that you'd have ended up killing him, but this will affect you from the next games. Yeah, having smoke would have made everything more perfect, but you by just not showing yourself, I don't think they have a ward here. Just aiming for Tinker. Just keep aiming for Tinker. And if you happen to just connect your Fissure just at least once to Tinker, I think he's dead. Timbersaw will react to it, like by you casting stun on him, and that's how you kill Tinker. So it should be your main emphasis. I kill Tinker, but when you casted Fissure like this, I just immediately knew that you were reacting. You're playing the game by just reacting on what you see in the screen instead of thinking about the winning condition. If I was playing the support game, out of it exactly have gotten the same item, but I knew that we are in trouble because nobody is focusing on Tinker. But all of you are just thinking about, okay, there's an enemy, I'm gonna kill him. Whereas like Tinker's hiding obviously, but you guys don't care about it. But that was like a little frustrating to me that I didn't understand. So now Tinker is like, nobody's killing him, so he's gonna go back to the fountain and he'll do this. He's gonna blink and you're dead, right? So the way you win this game is, first of all, Tinker, there were so many chances for you as a team, even as individually for you, to shut down Tinker in the early game. But this is where like Tinker is having really almost perfect game, 8-1, right? He only died once. Like I don't even know how he died, but nobody cared about pressuring Tinker, and nobody cared about taking down mid tower early when Tinker was obviously off the map, where even this tower is important. So Tinker is all about executing down him in the early game by taking the early tower. Taking the early tower is tier 1. If Tinker, when Tinker gets boost of travel and he does not have any tier 1 tower, he's gonna struggle the game. That's the thing that I learned as I climb up. The way that we deal with Tinker is pick someone like Jakiro and just take down the tier 1 tower before he gets a boost of trouble. That will really affect his game, because like Tinker will have nowhere to farm safely unless he gets Blink Dagger. But now that in this game nobody in your team were like thinking about how to pressure Tinker, so Tinker's was left solo for like 2 minutes in the early game, and like this and that, and he has Blink Dagger, and how are we gonna kill him? That's my question. How are we gonna kill now Tinker? It's really hard to kill him. So I feel like at this point of the game, I'll be really frustrated. I would have felt exactly the same way. Tinker is so fat out of the blue. How do you fucking kill him, right? And if you ask me what do, I don't know. I don't know what to do at this point other than, kill Tinker at all costs. Smoke in, whatever you do, get Shadow Blade, whatever you do. But all I'm saying is this situation could have been avoided if you played actually better for the first 10 minutes, and if you knew what you're doing, like by carrying smoke and rotating at the right time or just killing the right enemy. So So if the game is like happened dragged up to this point, like all you can do as a shaker is not get Yule Scepter. Actually, I have to disagree with that. So can you explain to me why you happen to get the Yule Scepter? Why this was your choice?
I was, like you said, I was also thinking about Shadow Blade, but there was a Slardar and a
Yeah.
Weaver.
All right.
A Slardar in opposite team and Weaver in my team. They would already be carrying detection for Weaver. I thought
All right.
my initiation with Shadow Blade would be useless.
All right. So here's a
The
okay.
only other
That's
thing was
yeah.
Force
Go
Staff,
ahead.
but with Force Staff, I might, it would be either to save my ally or to uh, uh, put myself in such a position that I can go in and try to Echo Slam. But
All right.
I didn't really, since I wanted to lock down Tinker and my Fisher has cast animation, I thought Yules would be instant to lift him up in the air and I can stun him as soon as he comes down.
Okay.
Since I was finding
Okay.
Tinker the main problem.
But here's the thing. So this is where like I'm actually happy because I already know how to answer to your question because I'm gonna, of course I'm happy, but I learned this. I really learned this as I was climbing up higher. It's all about making um better itemization choices, and it actually matters. So when you talked about okay, I'm gonna get Yule Scepter and I'm gonna Yule him up, I'm gonna stun him. Yeah, I mean that works, but and you also mentioned about how Weaver has invisibility and you don't want to get countered by sentries at the same time. So yeah, that's right. But here's what I'm gonna tell you: you have the right concept. You don't want to get countered by having Shadow Blade and by having enemy team Gem or Sentry. You will both get fucked. But here's the problem. Here's the thing: can enemy team buy ever like 20 sentries and they place everywhere around the map? Can they do that? Everywhere around the map? Everywhere?
No.
No, they can't, right? They cannot. Never. So even if, let's say they did, because there are actually some bad supports that do that. So let's say they did. But by doing that, by forcing them to buy that many sentries, because you got a Shadow Blade, you already won. Does that make sense to you? Like you force them economically to get that much of sentry, and what do you have to do? Just play passive for the next 4 minutes until the sentry get expired, right? So when you get the item, like Yule Scepter, if I just have to give you the answer, jump to conclusion, this is just wrong. I predict it's not gonna do anything. The benefit of Shaker having Yule Scepter, the number one, is not to what you just mentioned about Yule him up. I mean that's good, and generally Yule is considered good, but the main thing about having Yule is the mana regeneration. It's really good for Shaker because it really gives him really good sustain in terms of mana. So that's why Trunkle plus Blink plus Yule, you almost will never have to go back to the base, and Yule gives you, like you mentioned, about dispelling yourself, Yuling up, that's also good. But in this game, like I mentioned earlier, this is about just killing one person to win the game. Actually, two persons. CK is the another guy that can give you the problem. But Tinker is really the person that are giving you guys the really big trouble. And but just looking at the scoreboard, that should be really obvious. Tinker's 9-1. He's like snowballing really hard, and yeah, I would just be obsessed about killing Tinker. No one else but Tinker. But do you think having Yule Scepter will help you play more aggressive and more offensive to kill Tinker?
No, it will be put in a position where Tinker, if I see Tinker, I'll go on him, or otherwise I won't be able to.
Yeah, so
With Blink Dagger, he'll be hiding in trees, so I get your point. I cannot use
yeah,
him if I cannot see him.
yeah. Unless like if you Yule up, like you have somewhat like air vision. Unless something that happens, it's not gonna help you, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
by getting Shadow Blade, just think about this. Yule Scepter should be considered, unless you're playing someone like Lina, like something like that. It is utility item that makes you play defensive at the same time. When you mentioned about
Yeah.
debuffing, dispelling the Slaughter's ultimates, it should be used in a various way, but most of the time it should be defensive. You should always consider that. But when you get everything in your Shadow Blade isn't really a defensive item. It is an offensive item that just hides yourself, and you're not going to use Shadow Blade as in where you're playing slog like just to boost up your damage. No, all you care about is hide yourself. So like when Tinker is like, you can predict that if the lane is pushed this much, Tinker will come up here and try to push, right? And that is where when you activate your Shadow Blade, when about here, go in. When Tinker is coming here, your Shadow Bladed still here, he does not see you. Bam, blink in, ultimate. Tinker's dead, and so like that's like game winning shit, right? That's like worthy of gambling. Although like Tinker might have really good reflex and TP to the tree, but that's where then you have to take a guess. But you get my point, right? There's a way
Yeah.
that Tinker, like you just give Tinker more headache by getting Blink Dagger. It changes Tinker's game plan. He has to be extra careful, and the enemy team has to buy more sentries. They have a Weaver, I get it, right? So they will buy sentries, but by adding Shadow Blade to yourself, they will get even more sentries and they will get no items. What happens if Lion gets no items? It's really squishy. We will eventually kill him once this guy's get BKB. Tuskar gets no item because he's like too committed in getting sentry. That's actually stupid of him. They should never buy sentry because you have a Shadow Blade. But if they don't, there's a chance that Tinker might die. So like it's like changing the enemy's game plan. That's all I'm saying. That's like the next level thing that you can learn in your game. It's the tip that I'm telling you is not actually easy. I really shouldn't be telling you if you're at this level. Like, what's your MMR? It's like 3.9, 4.1?
3.9.
Yeah, so the tips that I'm giving you is actually wrong. I shouldn't be telling you like this much advanced tip, but the reason I'm doing it is like because I found that you're a guy like who's really focused on winning the game by having superior conceptual knowledge. Like when I first talked to you about like having not getting rewarded, I felt like okay, this guy's something different. So all I'm thinking is like if you have the right concept, I really think that will just make you a better player. But in reality, if you're at this level, you guys are still making a lot of mechanical mistakes, and every day without just telling you what I just told you, like you do that, you like concept like having Shadow Blade. I don't need to tell you that. All I can tell you is the item is wrong. I'll just tell you that the item is wrong for Shadow Blade because like it makes you envious, and the mechanical mistake you're making, that is why you're losing the game. Period. Like then don't do that. Just grind it. Then you will get an extra 500 more. But at this point, like if you just do both of them, you work on your mechanical skills just to not repeat what you did like from the replays that we covered, like making some stupid mistake. If you do that, and on top of that, you also work on your working on having the right concept. I think that's like you're already working on your way up to 5.5, 6 game MMR. This is not the tip that should be applied to 3K MMR game. Never. Trust me, this should not apply to your game. But if you understand that and you do that, I think you will really skyrocket in MMR because like you're really good at conceptual, and I feel like you're really liking about having deep knowledge in Dota. So that was about Shadow Blade. I mean, I feel like I talked a lot, but it really it's worthy of your time talking about how Shadow Blade is different from getting Yule Scepter. So always when you approach like go ahead.
Yeah, if you can finish your point,
No, that's basically all I want to say. Go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to ask, why did you tell that placing sentries versus the Shadow Blade was the wrong move that should be done? Like that.
What?
When you said like a support shouldn't buy sentries to counter Shadow Blade, like they cannot buy 20 sentries, and they cannot predict where the enemy is going to initiate with the Shadow Blade. So how would you counter that?
Yeah, no, you're right. My point was, that's what is going through support's mind. That's all I was trying to say. When you're dealing with Weaver, and when you find that this guy has a Shadow Blade, and when you also find that Sven has a Shadow Blade, so that's where like you start to have a dilemma as a support. Like I know that I shouldn't be buying that many sentries because I want to buy a Gold Scepter, I want to buy a Force Staff, but these motherfuckers are getting Shadow Blade and they're forcing me to buy the sentry. Otherwise, we're gonna lose the game, right? So that's where like I try to explain about dilemmas you're having a support. I know that buying excessive amount of sentry is wrong, but how can I determine if something is enough or not? That's like really hard, right? It's really hard. So by just getting Shadow Blade, this is where I talked about you affect the enemy team's game plan. They don't understand how many sentries they must buy to be like efficient. If they buy too many, they'll be like economically dumping themselves, and they will end up no item, like only Trunkel Boots, but no Gold Scepter, no Force. They will stop right here. But they will just focus on buying sentries. So that affects the game. That was just my point. Do you get it? Do you make sense?
Yeah, I understood.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to talk about in this game?
No. I think I know, but like this is the same thing. Like Tinker gets so fat that he owns almost 1v5.
Yeah, you guys cannot kill him. I don't visualize Tinker dying unless he makes this stupid mistake. Yeah, he can't. Like he was like standing right here. Does that make even sense? I mean, oh my god, I'm getting headache by seeing this. Like, oh my god, Tinker, come on! I have to say this again. Like, really? Like you jump in the middle of the team fight like this? Oh my god. Um, okay, you guys can assume. So I think what happened was you guys couldn't kill Tinker. Tinker kill everyone. And then by the time you guys thought like you guys kill Tinker, CK got too fat and CK started to kill everyone. Um,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah,
pretty
he had a
simple.
heart.
Yeah, I mean CK got Aegis and how are you gonna kill him, right? Tinker does not even need Aegis. He's gonna stay behind everyone and you guys cannot kill him. And while CK is in the front line, now you guys cannot deal with CK. So um, it's about having the priority in the early to mid game where you guys can deal with Tinker, deal with him, shut him down,
Hmm.
and Echo Slam can be used to CK or Tinker just depending on you. But yeah, I mentioned a lot of this game. I think that is the end of our session. It's about time.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's, well, we've been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah, yeah, but
I
I
just
enjoyed
didn't
it.
realize it.
Do you have any final questions? Anything before we close
Final
up?
question.
Yeah.
Not really. Everything I had, I asked you while we were watching the replay itself. So I don't really have like something
Okay.
specific.
I I I mean like I'm still I haven't coached that many students. I used to do it a lot like a year ago, 2 years
Hmm.
ago, but I just started coming back into this area. So I hope I was helpful to you. That's all I hope.
Yeah, yes, yes. I really appreciate that you have taken your time to not just me. You just don't educate me. You even upload these on YouTube and try
Yeah.
to educate other people. I really appreciate that. You have actually helped me a lot in the last 2 weeks. I'm
Oh
not even
really?
kidding. Like
Okay.
2 weeks. Yes, I've I discovered your channel as a suggestion when I was watching Pugna's video or something. Pugna, and your channel came up as a suggestion for some title which was matching, and I was like,
Oh
let
really?
me check this
Wow,
out.
that's
And
weird.
yeah,
I never thought about
and
someone finding it randomly. Wow. Okay.
yeah. So then after I started watching you, then I learned about the Learn Dota 2 Reddit community, and that's when I joined that. And I
Okay.
follow you and Circus, I think, another Redditor,
Okay. I mean, I
two
appreciate
free or something.
everything.
Yeah.
I'll just continue to be a better player, better coach. So I really had fun talking to you, teaching you. So I hope you
Yeah.
become. I really hope. I really think you will boost up to 4.5 at least if you just apply things right to your game that we discussed about. You will be
Hmm.
4.5. So
Okay.
good luck to you. Just let me know if you happen to improve on. I would really like to hear back from you, whatever happens. So
Yeah.
okay, that's it. Thank you, man. Thank you for
Yeah.
setting up.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
luck.
Good
Bye.
night.